Hey guys, welcome into another deck tech video. You know me, it's your boy Cozy, coming at you with a different Shanks list. I normally don't do this for the channel, but I try not to double upload when it comes to different leaders and things like that. But I gotta tell you, you guys gave so much love to the first Shanks video that we did last week. I wanted to come back with a different approach this week. I think this is gonna be the list that I actually take to a treasure cup later on in May that I am going to be participating in, because I think green purple Luffy is going to be very prevalent in this matchup and in this meta. The one thing I can say about this list as a personal disclaimer to start with is this thing will lose to Lucci 9 out of 10 times. It will also lose to Blackbeard maybe 7 or 8 times out of 10. So if you can avoid black as your matchup, this deck just steamrolls almost everything else. So with that out of the way, first, I want to thank you guys for stopping in. Second, we're going to go over this deck list now, starting with our 2Ks, working through our character progressions, and then our events and stages if we run any. Same as we always do with our leaders, but first and foremost, we're going to look at this list in the perspective of the EB02 meta. And so, let's go ahead and take a look. Welcome back, you guys. And like I said, we're going to be looking at this list from 2Ks to characters to events and stages if we run any. But the one thing I do want to share and express is what leader are we actually playing in this meta? So this particular deck tech is for Shanks. It is a slash attribute, 5,000, 5 life, 4 Emperors, Red Hair Pirates leader who has the effect of once per turn. This effect can only be activated when opponents attack. Give one of your opponent's characters or leaders minus 1,000 power during this turn, once per turn. So this is a very, very defensive list. And I find this list to be very defensive because this is actually the power control list. So what we're going to be doing is looking at how can we minimize power, essentially really just to get rid of the purple Sanji Pudding in the green purple Luffy matchup. If we can dismantle the Sanji Puddings, then green purple Luffy really doesn't really have much to kind of hold itself on its own. So that is going to be something and mindful that we look at of this list can also be called the control kill green purple Luffy. Like I said, it does lose to black very heavy only because a lot of our bodies don't have rush. They aren't meant to stick on the board against black, but we still got to play it. I'm thinking green purple Luffy is going to be the wave in my meta here in Las Vegas. So we're going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, we just go back to the other list, which is going to be linked in the video. It should also be in the end card as well, but if it's not, it's going to be the last list we did for Shanks. It's going to be a little bit more of that aggressive straw hat package build, all that fun stuff. So if you want to take a look at it, go ahead and take a look at it after this video, or if you want to go pop in, check that one out and come on back before you see the differences, you're more than welcome to do it. I love making this type of content for you guys. So we can go ahead and get started with our 2K list. Go ahead and put our baby boy down here. So for 2Ks, we run the staple of any red deck, 4 copies of Otama. This is going to be a staple until it goes out of rotation. It is a 1 cost, 0 power special attribute with a 2,000 counter. She is Land of Wano, so if you are looking to pick up red and Land of Wano stuff, Otama is one of those searchable targets as well if you are running that. But it's on play. Her on play effect is on play, give one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 for the turn, which is going to be very prevalent as we progress through the list, because we can play things like Otama, things like the next character we have, which is 4 copies of Hongo. So we can play Otama, we can play Hongo. Right here, we're already minusing 4,000. 1 Dawn is on play. The Hongo is a 3 Dawn, 3,000 attack, strike attributed Red Hair Pirates 2K counter, who has activate main, get around Blackbeard. You may rest this character and give one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for the turn. These two are going to be very prevalent in that green-purple Luffy matchup, only because it puts Sanji Pudding at 5k. before we even do anything else. So it's susceptible to our bigger game bodies, to our events, things like that. So move the Otamas out of the way a little bit. We'll move the Hongos over, because we also run 4 copies of lime juice. The lime juice here is just really, really strong to see, especially when you have those chump blockers like we can just get rid of the Shanks now, like the Vasco shot for Blackbeard, Nico Robin for Purple Luffy. Who else is a very minor blocker in this particular instance? One that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I know you guys are going to let me know down in the comments which particular like chump blockers there are in the meta, because Lime Juice's on play is your opponent can't activate the use of blockers with a character of 4,000 power or less. So we could whittle our way down if we have a Hongo, rest the Hongo, put a 6k down to 4, play Lime Juice. And then we have free attacks and free swings. So we do run 12 2Ks in this list. I think 12 is okay because we run a ton of additional counter in this list. Looking at our 1-drops, I run 4 of the Uda Searcher. She's really, really good in this list. She's going to help you find those pieces that you are looking for, because a lot of our pieces are red hair pirates that you'll see here pretty soon. For on plays, you just look at the top 5, find a red hair pirate, add it to your hand. To kind of bridge this early to mid to late game, I do run 4 copies of the Sanji that just came out in OP10. 3,000 power, special attribute, 1k counter, Punk Hazard, Straw Hat, Crew type character. During our turn, it gains plus 3,000. On KO, we draw a card. So best case scenario, they let it stick because they don't want us to draw and dig deeper in the deck. And we just get a free 6k swing per turn, which is great, and I love it. Worst case scenario, they kill it and we draw a card and we go deeper into the deck. So I'm fine with either option because it applies pressure that Green Purple Luffy necessarily doesn't want to deal with, because it is going to be a natural 6k body when it starts using his effect. But before then, Sanji is swinging 6, requiring 2k counter every single time. So that is something just to really be mindful of and to really see how great it is going to be. For 4-drops, run 4 copies of Lucky Roo. We're going to pop things that have a base 6k or less, regardless of how much Dawn is under it, regardless of what we minus. So that is the downside. If we minus stuff, we can't pop it with the Roo. That is okay, because Lucky Roo is a very solid blocker. On KO, it KOs a base 6,000 power character or less. To give us a little bit more defensive options, I do run 4 copies. Let's go ahead and move these down. 2Ks we're good on. Next row. 4 copies of Yasop is going to be our next 5-drop that we run. Yasop's going to give our leader plus 1,000 power during our turn and our opponent's turn during its on play. And then Dawn times 1 when attacking, we can give one of our opponents an additional minus 1,000 power. So again, looking at that control aspect, we're going to be able to pop things, especially if we have the Yasop swinging 7,000 to something, put the Sanji Pudding at minus 1,000. So the Sanji Pudding, I believe, goes to 6,000 at that point. And then that gives us a little bit more susceptibility to pop things with like Beckman, things like that. They're in the mail. I don't know where the other one went, but I do run 2 copies of that new promo Shanks that just came out. Not necessarily came out, it's in tournament pack, I believe 6. It's one of the tournament packs that just came out. It is a 6-cost, 7,000 power / attribute, 4 Emperors, red hair pirates type character with 1,000 counter in it. It has when attacking Dawn times 1. You may trash 1 character card from your hand, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn, then draw 1 card. So if we have a lot of bricks in our hand, we can toss the character bricks to minus 1,000 power something, draw a card. So I think it's really good. Plus, this is my one of my spice picks on this list. Huge shout out to KC, to Height, for helping me playtest this. And we've been working back and forth trying to come up with a control-y type list that does really, really well into what we project to be the meta. And seeing the Shanks, it's not necessarily something you need to see, but if you see it, I try to play it and watch my opponents freak out on how exactly it works. And it's done a lot of great success. In addition, I run 3 copies of Edward Newgate from the starter deck. He has an on play of giving one of your Arrested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters, and then activate main, get around Blackbeard. You may rest this character and KO one of your opponent's characters with a power of 5,000 or less. So we can swing with Shanks. We can play the Otama. We can rest the Hongo along with some other characters that we have in here, and then just rest the Newgate and we KO a 5k. The other one we run is 4 copies of Ben Beckman. You got to run Ben Beckman and Shanks. Like you have to. Ben Beckman is so good. On play, trash, not KO, trash a 6,000 power or less character. So it gets around things like the Black Sabo. It gets around things like the Jesus Burgess, that's what it is. The Jesus Burgess in Blackbeard, because it trashes it, it does not KO it. So that is going to be really, really strong to see, especially on your 7 or even 8 Dawn turn. Now we're getting into the bigger bodies. We're almost done with the character list, by the way. So it wasn't really a whole lot that we were running in this in terms of like difference in characters. So you know him, you love him. We're running 4 copies of the Rayleigh. So something that is just, again, a red staple for us. I think having Rayleigh on your 8 and 9 Dawn turn, depending on if you go first or second, is very important to see. Even if it's in your opening hand, I feel like it's okay. If you see it within the first 2 turns, depending on if you go first or second, that's even better for us. Because on play, it's going to give one of our opponent's characters minus 3,000, another one minus 2,000, and then we're going to pop a 3k or less on board. So even if we pop a 3k with Newgate on the field, right, we can pop the bigger body by giving it minus 3k, put the other thing down to minus 2k to put it within range of Newgate. We're going to rest the Newgate, and boom, we just wiped the entire board. Granted, we lose a swing with the Newgate, but that's fine because we can clear out their board, stop all of their tempo, and prepare for ourselves because we run 3 copies of the 10-drop Shanks. This is the static Shanks that has rush and all of your opponent's characters get minus 1,000 power, really fueling up the Newgate, the Beckman, the Rayleigh. And also, when we get to the events, you'll see, but for events, we run 1 copy of Bad Manners Kick Course. And then the real reason why we run Shanks is for a thematic reason. I run 3 copies of Divine Departure in this list. Just, it's such a good card. If you see Sanji Pudding, rest the 6 Dawn and kill it. Just kill Sanji Pudding. And just don't even have to worry about it. Best 6 Dawn you'll ever spend, especially if you don't have the Shanks, you don't have the Yasop. So that 6 Dawn's going to be put to good use, and they don't get to utilize the Sanji Pudding to every single turn, right? And you don't have to wait around for something to KO it, especially if you have the Divine Departure in hand. And then last but not least, for Spice. Remember, this is the Spice list. We're going to move these here for now. 2 copies of Red Force, the Red Hair Pirates stage from OP10. Oh no, OP09, sorry. From OP09. Activate main, rest the stage, give one of your, if your leader has the Red Hair Pirates type, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during the turn. So in combination of everything, with stage, with the Otamo, with the Hongo, with the Yasop, with the Shanks, we are popping anything and everything we can try to get our hands on as quickly as we can, especially in this power control build, or we can just deal with pesky attackers that are swinging 4, 5, 6k, minus them, swing with our leader to gain additional advantage and card advantage, and just starve them out at that point as well until you get to your bigger bodies that are swinging for at least 6K. If they are not swinging for 6, it is very, very easy for them to give you 1K encounter, or they're going to give you multiple cards out of hand in order to deal with it if they're a 6K or higher. My rule of thumb is if they are a 5K leader, you want to swing 6 to force them to give you a 2K or 2 cards out of hand if they're both 1Ks. If you swing 7, they're almost always going to take it from my experience. So swinging the 6 does make them contemplate, and then you can tell how they're reacting to the 6. If you want to dawn up more, if you think they have counter in hand, whatever the case is, you can now gain more information just based off of their reaction to a 6K swing versus a 7 or an 8 or even a 12. But this is going to be our Shanks list that I'm probably going to run in EB02, to be honest, if Green Purple Luffy starts to run rampant. If it doesn't run rampant and it's kind of just existing in the meta, then I'm going to take my chances and I'm going to run the other Shanks. But I did want to share this list out with you guys because we were talking about it in the comments of the other Shanks video. And I got to tell you, you guys have been showing so much love in the community, so much love on the channel. I can greatly appreciate that, and I want you to keep doing it. And let me know how we're doing on this video by 1, liking it if you enjoyed the content, 2, subscribing to the channel so you can see more uploads, right? And ring that notification bell so you don't miss my next upload as we go into more deck profiles, more gameplay videos, slowly working on some other projects in the back that we will be bringing out to fruition here hopefully soon. And with that, like I said, I'm your boy Cozy. It's been super cool hanging out with you guys for a little bit, and I will catch you guys in the next upload. Peace and love, y'all.